So we're here at MWC 2025 with Paco Martín from Vodafone, Daniel Borras from Samsung Networks. Great to see you both. We're going to talk about Open RAN, big topic of course. Paco, the industry's been at it a few years now. Have you had to kind of compare and contrast Open RAN with a more traditional system? Where would you say we're at?
I think we are pretty much there right now. I mean, we have validated the performance. It's all good, even for any scenario. So no matter if you look at dense or rural, it all works performance-wise. Also commercially, and this is very important, also works well. So the TCO is the right one. So it's time to deploy, and we are pretty much pushing for it now.
So performance is right for all your main deployment scenarios, rural into urban?
Completely, no difference. We are seeing also comparisons from other players in the industry, big events. It's ready to be prime time.
KPIs, user experience, we're there.
Everything's perfect.
And you're building now the commercial confidence, it sounds like.
Exactly, which was an important point, obviously, because one of the main reasons we were doing Open RAN was about the ecosystem, not being able. Avoid to be locked in with some suppliers, but also commercially the TCO should be able to work. We are also seeing innovations being plugged in the solutions. So I think the good news is that all the assumptions that we had at the beginning for Open RAN are now being validated, and it's very encouraging. Yeah,
and so what are some of the things you think it's going to give you that it's, you can do better now or in the future that you wouldn't have been able to otherwise?
I think what we are seeing very good examples on practical innovation in several areas. I mean, particularly, I have some good examples on radios. We get a radio from a certain supplier. It doesn't really fit our requirements, but there is another company that has a very good technology. Then those two work together to deliver to us. We are doing things that way that were never done before. There are also some innovations that is making progress. So yeah, innovation is delivered faster.
Yeah, putting a better solution together fundamentally. Daniel, Paco's talking about some of the KPIs and obviously what they're generating in their networks, but also looking outward to other operators, how they're doing. Give us a bit of a perspective on performance that you're seeing globally.
Yeah, actually, globally, we are deploying with many tier 1 operators, including Vodafone. And what we see is the performance is better or at the same level as traditional RAN. So from that perspective, it's not about matching traditional RAN. In our view, Open RAN also goes beyond traditional RAN. Because if you look into what we are doing with Open RAN, basically we're working on a software-based network that is working in a very similar way as a data center. Basically, we are having software running on servers. And this is very similar to how hyperscalers operate. If you think about that, the level of investment that you have in the RAN is around 40 billion USD per year. While in the data centers it's around 400 billion, right? So it's an order of magnitude different. You have a much more innovation pace in the data centers, and this is something that we want to, embrace and go in that direction. That's to Paco's point about innovation. So with all this, you can imagine your network as a kind of massive data center, which is highly automated, and where operators can continuously look for improvements using AI and automation.
Yeah, ride some of the volume and the R&D out of that ecosystem and put it to use for your own business, I guess, is a good way to look at it.
Exactly.
Paco, when I hear like sort of software-defined or a massive distributed data center, immediately the thought is, well, that's automation is kind of one of the outcomes you want. At Vodafone, you've been pretty vocal, I think, in the industry about how you want better RAN automation. Where's your position now? Are you getting the kind of day-to-day operational benefits that?
Well, I think this is a very good question. It's very clear the radio works. We've been talking about that now. But apart from the radio, for us, operations is very important. We need to be able to roll out very quickly. We need to be able to capture the opportunity of this big data center that Daniel is talking about. I think the automation is still the area where we need to focus as an industry, and I see the next 12 months very relevant. There are areas in Open RAN that still are standardized. We are finalizing, so all the SMO part, RIC, and all that. this is essential, and we need to make sure that that it gets to the right level.
Yeah, I guess one observation I have is a lot of times people automate their own piece, but once you get to the operator side, they need the whole workflow really to be automated. And so
Exactly, and we all have our own tools, all the legacy, so all that integration and having it's a multi-vendor model, right? So there is a level of complexity in there that's true. Automation will help us to make it simpler.
Another thing I want to bring you in on is energy efficiency. The sort of prevailing thought is, well, if you're using off-the-shelf general purpose components, you're not going to get the optimization and the power efficiency for a RAN application. Where do we stand? Are we getting closer?
Well, I think we already sorted that problem. There was a gap, that's true. But if you look at the radios today, the radios our best radios are the Open RAN radios, in terms of energy efficiency. And also you have the opportunity, thanks to the Open RAN model, that if there is a particular band or combination that it doesn't work for a given vendor, now thanks to Open RAN you can put another one. No? You can mix and match and fix that thing. No? So radios are ticking the box. Best radios are Open RAN. And when it comes to the servers, for us it's very important energy efficiency, having only one server per site, and there are new platform coming, and this year will be completely okay on that front. But even today, all things considered, the best energy efficiency comes from an Open RAN platform.
Yeah, that's a big push I've seen from a lot of operators. They can get down to this single server model and run FDD, TDD, all on one appliance, effectively, one piece of equipment. That would be a big win for them.
Indeed.
And then also, you mentioned a time you're mixing different vendors. Tell us how the kind of validation and qualification process has evolved for you.
That's another good question. I mean, the output of it is amazing, in terms of the savings you can get when you add up, good volumes of a certain radio. Having the right one, really impacts our TCO. So it's essential that we are able to do that. When we started doing the first integration, it was a long process. It could take 9 months, 12 months to have an integration. Now it's all reduced to 2-3 months, essentially, because of the testing that you need to do. And this is where automation comes into play again. Automation in testing will help us to even shorten that more. And as we progress over time, standardization will reduce the number of options that you can have and will make it easier, more straightforward to integrate. And I think at some point we'll get to the vision of integrating radios like a USB, that type of experience. Still not there yet, but certainly it's not a problem now. You just can do it. It's possible.
Daniel, your customers are pushing you hard to get this multi-vendor integration working.
That's right. Yeah, actually, I mean, this is what you mentioned is very relevant. So you need to do the product integration itself. It needs to work. It needs to be quick, and it has to be telco-grade performance. But you also need to look at the life cycle of the network, because here you will have many vendors collaborating. And in this sense, I think there is a strong need for strong processes, governance, and framework, which actually Vodafone is very good at. And they are establishing very strong, comprehensive framework. So all the vendors know exactly what they need to do and how they should be aligned. So we are really happy actually to be one of those partners working in this sense. Another thing that we are doing is also providing our system integration services to help operators do this kind of coordination. So this is something that, for example, some operators may want to have a prime vendor, which we can also do. And some other operators may decide, okay, I don't want to be involved at all in all this coordination, so I want one solution provided by one vendor, which is fully integrated, fully validated, and ready for deployment. And we can also do that because we have a large ecosystem of partners that help us in this way.
Good stuff. Okay, so to close it out, Paco, how are you working with your peers in other regions, peer operators who are also on a kind of the same mission as you?
Well, there is the O-RAN Alliance and the Telecom Infra Project, the collaboration. So we are very well connected there and kind of driving the progress on the plan and the execution of the things that we're doing there. But we are also more on a day-to-day basis. We have a partnership with Docomo. We are working together to address other operators and to help them, learn from our experience. So we are calling everybody, come to us. We will support you.
Yeah.
And there is a big ecosystem that is already there. So I think in the next 12 months it will be essential to see smaller operators. Big ones are already into it. Even some of them that were initially a little bit more hesitant are now embracing Open RAN. So we need everybody to join. That will drive the scale and the progress we need.
Yeah, that partnership's really interesting because it does actually get the big scale, but it helps, all these smaller operators, mid-market operators come in and get some of the benefit.
We always said Open RAN is about collaboration, so that's the key word.
Okay. Daniel from Samsung, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Paco
Thank you
from
very
Vodafone,
much.
thank you.
Thank you, good to see you. Thank you.